Okay, so just kind of quick recap. I this morning sent out the review as well as the answer key to the review. I also meant to send out, I just sent out like 2 minutes ago because I realized that I didn't attach it to this morning's email, but I meant to. So like 2 minutes ago, I sent you an email that also has the answer key from the homework assignments from last night. Okay, so actually here I have that right here. Right. Okay, here. So I sent you two things. This is the review to what you just had before from this morning. Sorry. And then I also sent out the review from the homework assignment. Or the key from the homework assignment. So this first page from the homework assignment one is just like blank. I don't know why it's like that. But then it goes on into having the actual key from the homework assignment with full solutions of how to do those. I had a couple people email me and ask me about number 4. I just screwed up on number 4. There's supposed to be an X in here somewhere that is just not there. So I guess my secretary must have messed up whenever they made this assignment. So I'll have to fire them, but so apologies to you guys for that. But you should have both of those now from my emails. So reminder, my plan is that tomorrow morning I will send out the performance task, which would then be due to me by the end of the day on Friday. Okay. It'll be short, just a few questions. And there will be questions that, again, emphasize explanation of some kind. So explaining your answer, explaining why you know something is true or something isn't true. Just explaining the process for how you got an answer, something like that. In that, so if you just have, the correct values, the correct calculations, that's good. Okay, but to get like the full good scores, like a perfect score, I would need to see that you actually have a good explanation of your process and your steps or whatever the question is that I ask you, so that I know that you actually understand this, right? Or at least it's a better indication of whether you actually understand it or not. Okay, is if you can prove to me that you actually understand the steps that you're doing and you understand the information, not just, solving a problem without any knowledge of what it actually means or cheating or whatever. So this is just kind of an open time here. Does anyone have any questions for me about? I'll send out more and I'll send out that explanation as well in the email when I send out the performance task. Just kind of reiterating that. But if questions about the performance task or questions about a problem from the review or a problem from the homework last night that you want me to look at or talk about and explain, then let me know. I'm here. If you want me to scroll through here and talk about calculus problems, I can do that. If that seems like a fun thing to do. Also similar to the other one, if you guys could just, for those of you that I know, again, I have most people, I think, or a lot of people that either watch this stream or watch the YouTube videos afterwards. But try to spread the word to people to make sure they know that this is happening. All right, to look out tomorrow morning for that performance task. Do we get to do corrections? Good question. I would say not formally. Like, I don't know. Since I'm giving you 2 days to do it, right? Like all day Thursday, all day Friday, and since you're doing it at home and you have all the time, it's very short, and you have, all of your notes with you and everything, then that makes me lean towards not like specifically doing corrections. But if you do feel like, well, I got a score that I don't like, could I improve upon that? Then we can talk about that. Just, email me or something, and we can talk about it specifically. But I'm not going to send back every person's performance task with, marks on it and corrections and things like that. So again, if you see that your score is something that you're like not a huge fan of and would like to improve it, then we can talk about that individually. But again, you're at a great advantage, right? You got a lot of time to do it, and on your own time. You have all of your notes with you and stuff like that. So I have full faith. Maybe. Yepers. Okay, other questions? Or questions specifically from the homework or from the review? Aiden, I know you had emailed me, asked me some questions. Was there something specific you wanted me to talk about or go through again? I think you're good now. Okay. And like my email said this morning, what am I scrolling at? Okay, here we go. The emphasis will be on can you do these like word problems, right? So here's from the homework assignment. There was the word problems of the earthquake and the decibels, and then from the review, there's the word problem. So this going back to, compound interest or exponential growth, like 24. 25 was like using the Newton's law of cooling. So like that checkpoint that I had you guys do, right? With the law of cooling, right? Exponential growth, exponential decay. And then these last 2 questions on the review, or last 4 questions on the review, are more earthquake problems and decibel problems. So performance task, large emphasis on these word problems. Okay. The stuff before that, you still need to know how to do. Like, for example, 21 and 22 are solving logarithmic equations. Now that's an example. You have to solve logarithmic equations in the word problems. Okay. Or solving exponentials, or using log properties. Okay, expanding, condensing logarithms, change of base formula, solving exponentials. That's something that we did a lot in the actual exponential growth and decay problems, or the cooling problems. Okay, so use these however you need. The practice problems towards the beginning, like the first couple pages, just to make sure you have a good handle on the properties and how to solve an equation. And then on top of that, can you use those in whenever you need to use them, whenever we're doing these word problems with solving growth or decay or cooling or earthquakes or sound. Okay, so the emphasis of the performance task will be doing these word problems, and then making sure you actually understand what you're doing in the word problems, right? If I ask you to explain something in how one of these problems is working, or explain how you know something, or even maybe something like the checkpoint, where it was like, maybe not the full project of solving this murder, but maybe there's a question where it's like, would it be more correct if we think that someone died at this time or this time, and you have to kind of use logical reasoning to get through your answers, and then can you explain that to me? Which is perfect, because I can see that Abundus Does Science is in the chat here, so you'll definitely be able to use your science skills on these word problems. Hi,